MotoVagabondNate does the Smokey Mountain 500. Well, half of it. Arriving at our starting point late night Wednesday, October 22nd.
It's a chilly October morning at the end of the month here in Robbinsville, North Carolina. We're getting ready to start the Smokey Mountain 500. We're here at the Iron Horse Motorcycle Campground. They're a nice little creekside campsite that's primitive camping and super cold. It was like 34 degrees last night. Perfect time for my air mattress to fail. So let's go get some riding on.
This adventure is going to include myself on an Ibex 450, Jon on a Himalayan 411, and Barry on his BMW F850 GSA. First things first, we must fill our bellies before we embark on this great adventure. So we head to the Iron Horse restaurant and then mingle with the locals a little bit. They've been here a while. It's finally time to start the long-awaited Smokey Mountain 500, so we mount up and head out. The route started us out on some smooth, winding asphalt that led us through this breathtaking landscape they call Western North Carolina. The road became more tight and twisty until it finally spat us out at a bridge crossing the Cheoah Lake. It is a Cherokee word for otter, and located just west of the Fontana Dam, which is the tallest dam on the eastern side of the United States. We followed the Cheoah Lake until it led us to the bottom of Route 129, where Deals Gap ends. We then crossed the Cheoah Dam and Cheoah River, leading us to our first piece of dirt.
Well, it took us about 42 miles to get into the dirt, but we finally got into it, into this.
Thus far, the trail has been wide and manicured, our only obstacle being a lot of embedded rocks, acceptable for all riding skill levels from novice to advanced. This proven by a pack of 14 riders we came upon with all different riding skill levels. The Smokey Mountain 500 offers plenty of beautiful overlooks to enjoy the scenery, but back to what I like, the off-road adventure aspect. Everything was going beautifully and flowing until Jon got a message over comms that Barry needed help. So we quickly turned around and hustled back to find Barry's location on our rescue mission. So our little tire problem is actually a massive tire issue. We can't even plug it. This is a massive crack here, all the way back to there. Whoa, that is a tire problem. But my man says he got some patches. So we're gonna rip this wheel off. Too bad he doesn't have a center stand.
He's got a cool little item he hasn't used yet.
A little jack stand?
Yep.
So we'll put a jack stand up, pull this wheel off, and patch this brand new 300-mile Michelin Anarchy Wild. Step 1, elevate the motorcycle rear wheel off the ground. Number 2, remove said tire. Step 3, remove all air, which it did itself. Step 4, breaking the bead with our beautiful travel size Bead Pro
from Motion Pro.
Step 5, remove tire.
Step 6, once you have the tire completely removed, is finding the culprit here and seeing what damage we have on the inside. Oh boy. And there's our culprit. So we're gonna lube it up, patch it from the inside. Step 7, apply the adhesive and then the patch, and we're good to go. We just gotta let it dry for a hot minute, and then we'll reinstall the tire and let the air pressure do the work. Final step is reinstalling the tire and hoping to God it takes air. Yeah, we're taking air. This is gonna be a cinch. I mean, we should have timed ourselves on this. We're just doing a little chain adjustment before we do a final torque on the rear axle nut. And we are back on the track to find a new tire now. We continued climbing the mountain, finding even more and more beds of embedded rocks, so we slowed our roll to ensure we don't cause any more damage. But riding slow is where I lack the least amount of self-discipline when riding. And as we topped the mountain and crested down to the other side, you can see that the GoPro self-stabilization can't even keep up with the amount of embedded rocks we were hitting. A few more miles down the road, maybe like 10, 11 miles. My turn. So now I've got a punctured tire, man. I mean, I was going down those mountains thinking this is really rough on suspension and tires. And these are two brand new Michelin Anarchy Wilds, and both of them have gone flat. All right, so we're pumping it back up after I only had one single dyno plug. The other one, the tip broke off during extraction. So we're gonna find Advanced Auto with a big fat plug. I'm gonna stick that in so we don't spend all day taking my tire off, his tire off, then his tire off again. It's too many tire stops in one day, man. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Woo! Stopped at the Bikers Express pit stop here. I'm gonna roll in the shell and got a tire repair kit, and then check my tire pressure. The little dyno plug's holding, so we're gonna keep rolling. Get chow to Tellico Cafe, where an old Marine told me that's the best place in Tellico Plains to go eat.
Just taking a little edge off, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, look at this guy, he's recording himself eating.
After an extremely affordable and delicious meal at the Telly Cafe, we sought shelter at Smitty's Motorcycle Lodge. Unfortunately, there are limited trees, which set us next to the road, where there were at least some trees. All right, been a long day. We just got back from dinner at Tellico Cafe, as you saw. We had two flat tires. One had to come off the rim. One just got patched. Then we had a low fuel situation, had that bird off trail, and head straight to Tellico Plains for fuel. And then we get to a campsite, and there's not enough trees. So I got one tree, one motorcycle, and a little engineering job hooked up off the picnic table. I've tried this before in Nevada, as you saw in my old 6-day video, and that didn't work out. But now I got a heavier bike, I got a center stand, and motorcycle hammock dreams are coming true. Time to sit back with my new friends next to the fire and pray that my hammock survives the night. All right, there's my motorcycle.
And over here is me. Hopefully I stay this way all night. No moving. We'll see what happens in the morning. Woke up with a broken ankle. Alright, 6:32 in the morning. I'm getting up early. Can't sleep anyway when you're freezing because your insulated air mattress decided to take a crap on you as soon as you go on a cold weather trip. So we're going to Smitty's little bathhouse here. Take a shower, freshen up the clothes, and get in before anybody else. That's what I thought. Battle of the bikes. Beat each other to death. Cold exhaust.
Time to head out and seek fuel for our bodies, which led us to the B&B restaurant, an unexpectedly great place with real range tops cooking our food for us. So we had our breakfast at B&B. It's been frigid this morning, but the sun is finally out, and we had a good experience with breakfast, and it was extremely affordable. Drove by here yesterday and weren't expecting that good of food, but it was superb. Back to the mountains. We took an asphalt track back to where we left off on day one to find ourselves back in the dirt and ready to ride. It was a day of relaxing riding and taking advantage of the opportunities that came along our path. It was all going swell until there was a glitch in the matrix and I found myself alone with no motorcycle having to run the trail. Luckily, the glitch was repaired and I finally found myself back on the Ibex 450, enjoying the mountainous scenery. It's that time. I can see that the fish are waiting for me right there. Let's go get some. Unfortunately, the fish weren't in my favor this day, but my trusty Ibex 450 substituted the nourishment my soul was needing. More riding. We leisurely cruised down the scenic backcountry roads until we got to the much anticipated Whit Road water crossing. Well, that was a delightful surprise. Last time when Dave and I came through on the SE BDR, the water was all the way up to here. You couldn't see the rocks. It was pretty disastrous, but this was easy peasy. On to the next one. Where we ended up back at. We finished our round of the yellow section, coming back for some more affordable but delicious chow, and back out to try to finish her as much as we can to the next section. We checked out all the cool machines in the parking lot while Barry made phone calls looking for a new rear tire. He found one, but it was an hour away, leaving Jon and I to the trail to ourselves. The trails were smooth and wide, so I picked up the pace so Jon and I could intercept Barry at the end of the trail and then continue together as a team again. But then this happened.
half a corner away from getting that shit on footage.
Well, look what I hit, dude. It's a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because your bike's not pointed the right direction. Like, how did you slide into this? I got you.
It hit, and then it went bounced sideways.
Yeah, because you grabbed that. Your Pannier might grab that. Can you lean my way? Okay, there you go. You're good.
After retrieving old adventure bike from the pile of logs, I pushed it out of the way, and by God, she started right up. Alright, so that might be right here. And this tree that was like just sticking out in the middle of the road behind these bushes. And man, clipped the very end of my bar end weight. And you can see where my tire went sideways and it high-sided me. And then pitched me into the tree. And then I look up and I'm like, oh no! My motorcycle's sliding into me now. And that's where I landed. So step by step, I impacted here, high-sided the bike onto the right side. It flipped head over heels, landed on the left side, and slid into me here. No, it was not my lucky day. I wrecked the bike at 12,777 miles. What luck! Oh, man. But she came out okay, except for this crash bar right here. She's cankled up, as you can see. But what are you gonna do? Oh, and I gotta replace my handguard here. But I'm gonna leave my tape of shame on there, and it blends in with the EGA. Heeding the advice I always give to others, it was time to jump back in the saddle and ride. Continuing down the trail, the pain started to set in, but I started to think of how lucky I was that I wasn't fully broken or impaled by either of the sticks sticking out next to my crash site, and how well my Rika gear protected me and my Shad Pannier survived this crash. But then, I guess John felt left out of the action, decided it was his turn. We picked up the motorcycle, did a once-over, and then John proceeded to tell me how he found the one big patch of construction sand that they did for a fill job. Then I suggested to John that we head to Ducktown, about 7 miles down the trail, find a place to rest and lick our wounds. Well, this is where the saga ends. In the emergency room. Gonna get the left shoulder checked out here, see what's going on inside the body. Hopefully I don't have a matching left and right shoulder, because this was my last good joint that I had. I'm gonna have to go down to the fingers and toes and say I got a good couple toes. Almost time for some x-rays. Let's see what we got going on. X-rays came back with no broken bones, just waiting for a follow-up visit to check my ligaments. Stay tuned for more adventures from your MotoVagabondNate and adventure bike.